This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Shishina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, residents of the Smiths Point community coming together for a town meeting regarding the construction of the new seawall for that settlement. Construction began in 2016, but was delayed slightly due to Hurricane Matthew. Residents were able to hear from Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, who informed them that work is progressing and now on schedule.
Smiths Point. Ms. Neddins.
But it's this administration who persevered and made sure that we deliver the seawall for you, while at the same time having coastal engineers look at the possible erosion that will continue and come up with new modalities to ensure that the livelihood that you have benefited from for many years continue, and you continue to do well in your community.
Now, one of the main concerns for residents was the operation of their business during the construction phase. They were reassured that steps were being taken to ensure that businesses in the Smiths Point community could continue.
The eastern section of that road will not be closed. You have to understand how the project is working, Mr. Eden. If you notice what we are doing right now, we still have traffic, but it's only our traffic coming through from the west side. We are coming through from the Wilsons and still coming through all the way up to the graveyard with our equipment. The only thing the people have to bear in mind that there will be some big equipment, but your business will still be able to function and open. That's what we're here for, to make it. We don't want to shut down your business to accommodate you with a seawall.
Now, the Smiths Point community was one of the areas hard hit by Hurricane Matthew. Today, those residents who are still rebuilding their lives got a helping hand with building supplies. The goodwill gesture made possible by 3 local organizations. Italia Hall reports.
Members of the Rotary Club of Freeport went door to door in the Smiths Point community to hand out plywood, nails, and tarp to residents who are still recovering from Hurricane Matthew. The group was assisted by the National Emergency Management Agency, as well as the local government representative for that area. President Darren Cooper says it's a great joint effort.
A donation from Joe Kohler, from partners out of the United States, other fellow Rotarians, and today the funds were earmarked for the community of Smiths Point, and today we are living up to the commitment that we would have made to them in making sure that all of the items are donated to the residents of Smiths Point.
Local government representative Clifford Eden calls it a blessing.
Joe Kohler, he's the one who organized this, and he went out and begged for this little relief for the people of Smiths Point. And we sat on the Kiwanis meeting, and he put it together, and now they deliver.
NEMA Supplies Officer Tammy Mitchell says NEMA is happy to play a role in the process.
It's a privately donated initiative, but because of their contact and because of Rotary wanting to know that they're going to the persons who need it, we were contacted to ensure that the residents of Smiths Point get what they actually need. And what's so important is that we're trying to encourage everybody. This is what we need you to do. Work along as a team with NEMA to ensure that we're not duplicating or making triplicate of efforts, because you know we do get reports of the same persons getting the supplies, but we're trying to encourage that if we work together as a team, then everybody will get the assistance.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
In other news, tomorrow is payday for the former employees of the Treasure Bay Casino. Last week, the Ministry of Tourism issued an announcement informing all Treasure Bay staff that the management of Treasure Bay has advised that final settlement payments calculated in accordance with the Employment Act are now being prepared and shall be paid to staff on Tuesday, February 21st at the Treasure Bay Casino. Additionally, the Ministry of Tourism informed the staff that they will be invited to reapply with the new operators once they begin their recruitment drive, which is expected to commence in early April. Over 150 casino employees were laid off after the Treasure Bay Casino closed following Hurricane Matthew. Switching gears now, there is a renewed call for the establishment of a national youth service. The appeal coming from a local religious leader during Sunday worship service. Sabrina Brown has more.
To the congregation at St. Paul's Methodist Church, including members of youth organizations, Reverend Emmett Ware says the major social challenge facing the young people of this nation is crime. He says too many young men are finding themselves on the wrong side of the law, while too many young women are falling victims to teenage pregnancy. Reverend Ware believes the Bahamas should have established a national youth service when the concept was introduced by the father of the nation, the late Sir Lyndon Pindling, many years ago. However, it was met with widespread opposition.
It was rejected on two grounds. Firstly, there were those who felt that it was too much of a military boot camp kind of organization, too much like an army. Secondly, were those who didn't like it because they said it was compulsory, and people don't like compulsory. Indeed, however, it is my considered opinion that we should have gone ahead with it, and that if we had done so some years ago, we would not be facing the social problems today.
Reverend Ware is calling on the government to revisit the concept of a national youth service as a matter of urgency.
We should proceed with this as quickly as possible, unless we lose many more of our young people. It is just that such a national youth service should have two aspects: that we should purge it of those aspects for which it was rejected in the past, and have something which in fact would make it possible for us to reject those parts which are negative, but take those parts which are positive.
He's recommending that the program has two aspects, a primary and advanced level.
A national youth service in which there is an emphasis, we beseech thee, on just training, that they themselves may train with a trade or something so that when they come out, they can work. Secondly, there should be a second aspect, which I would call the aspect of service. Those who have finished their studies, those who want to become lawyers and doctors and teachers and whatever else, before they go into work, they should have 2 years of national service.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, it was a busy weekend for the Immigration Department as officers took some 15 foreign nationals and a Bahamian into custody for a breach of the country's immigration law. 12 Brazilians and a Turkish national were taken into custody at an apartment complex on Bahama Terrace. Now, reports say all of those foreign nationals had landed in Nassau legally and then traveled to Freeport with the hope of being smuggled into the United States. The 13 illegal migrants were taken to immigration headquarters for further processing. Meantime, 2 undocumented Haitian nationals and a Bahamian were arrested at a resort in Carmel Beach area. It is believed that the Haitian men were also making steps to be smuggled into the U.S. The trio were turned over to immigration officers. The Haitian nationals will be deported. The Bahamian is assisting with further investigations. Stay with us. There is more news right after this.